Hey guys, a couple of things about these different lightsabers out there. So there are a ton of different brands and they have all kinds of different little pros and cons and some issues. This is a TXQ Saber's snv4-pro and I got it on a pretty good deal, and it's currently wearing a black blade from a guy named Glenjamin7 from eBay. And I'm still getting all this set up and working, which is why I don't have a handle yet. You can makeshift this with like a schedule 40 3/4 PVC to do some just absolute light handling testing. Don't do anything crazy. And you'll be able to line up those pins inside of here, those 3 pins with these pogos here. The innermost bank is your data pin. The one in the between the two is your ground, and the outside one is your voltage. And what I've seen with these is the handle having an issue with the blade occasionally, and that can just really be honestly down to your battery. So I went through all the batteries I had, and I found only these working okay. You're supposed to have a protected battery, and you're looking for something with a high discharge rate. So this guy here somehow qualifies. This guy here somehow qualifies. And this guy here somehow qualifies. And I have a couple of most of these. And what ultimately happens if you put these in here, whether they're good or bad, when you first put one in, you'll see nothing happens. So just disconnect it and reconnect it. That's thing one. And then once you bring it up,
power up, power on, connected.
It's the Hunter ignition. Not my choice. That's the default without a battery. I do wish they'd cache that to the SD card. But yeah, it'll be on like this for just maybe seconds to under a minute, and then it'll just say low power, please recharge. And that's a sign of a bad battery, one that does not have enough discharge capability. No matter what voltage it's at, that's what that's going to look like. So that threw me off because I put a voltmeter and everything, and I was at 4.08 volts fully charged on all of them, but they just didn't provide enough amperage, and the signal, from the handle indicated a false issue, sort of, rather than saying low, discharge rate, which is, I guess, hard for them to diagnose. It would look the same. And to that end, I tried so far with all of these to see if any of them had a bottom end discharge that was better. And so far I can't tell the difference, but I thought, the one that's the best battery can run down to the lowest voltage before it craps out. But so far, no matter what they kind of not afterglow, but the opposite of down to, they wind up actually stopping around 3.7-ish volts, which is not a sensational power range, but again, hydraulic devices. Of course, you can buy the prescribed battery and have a much better experience for it. Just another thought to throw in there. When you first get these, back up your SD card. They're FAT32. It's about 1.5 gigs worth of files typically. Make a backup. Just copy it, in your computer to a folder where you can back things up. Then you can start to mess around with things if you want to change the boot up sound. I want mine to say like R2D2 beeps instead of power on, power off. This black blade looks really great in the dark and in the light. So I think it's a nice departure from the white, and highly recommend you check the guy out. And yeah, that's about that. Cheers. Have a good May 4th.